Hello guys, D-Man here, and today I'm reviewing a movie, a Netflix movie, Cargo. Not many pictures of it, sadly, after I go past a certain point, so we're just gonna stay up here. Anyways, uh, normally I do reviews spoiler-free than spoilers. I'm gonna do the same thing with this review. The spoiler-free is gonna be small because not much I can say without spoiling it, and plus it's been out for a while, so most people should have saw it. So, you're sitting here asking yourself, do I want to watch this movie? The answer is yes. This movie is something else. That's for sure. Um, Let me get into the bad parts of it and then the good parts of it. So first off, the bad. It does have cliches, quite a lot of cliches. And it's kind of predictable where it will all end up. Just so you know, it's kind of predictable. The trailer is kind of misleading, to be honest, of the movie. It's kind of misleading, but it's kind of predictable. It has a lot of cliches, and that's pretty much it for the bad stuff. And there's a lot of stupid stuff the characters did. The characters, I guess, a lot of stupid stuff they did. Now the goods about this, the ending is is great. The ending is great. Uh, Almost brought me to tears, man. Almost brought me to tears. It was fantastic. And the story is really nice. It's really good. It has like this really good progression and stuff like that. The only thing is that it had a lot of stupid mistakes in it, and also a lot of cliches in it. So that's the only two things. But anyways, that's my non-spoiler review. I'll give it a rating real quick: 1 to 10. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, 5 being average. I'm gonna give this a 7. It's definitely something that you should watch, although it has a lot of cliches and a lot of stupid decisions. Okay, now spoiler section. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. This movie is all about this guy and his daughter running away from these things. This is a zombie, by the way. It's basically a zombie movie. Um, and as you can see, his wife turns into a zombie. They discreet like waxy stuff, I guess. It's like wax, like slash wax honey. But basically, his wife gets bit because she does a stupid decision. He goes, they're on a boat first. He goes to this other boat to get supplies. He gets supplies. He comes back. His wife goes to that same boat for a second time for some reason to get a razor, if I'm not mistaken. And there was a zombie in there, and she gets bit, and it's just like, okay, why the fuck you go back there in the second place, in the second time? Like, he already got all the supplies there, but you're like, he needs a razor for some fucking reason. So she gets bit, and eventually she turns into a zombie. And then this is like that's the first mistake, okay? That's a cliche. I don't know if that's a cliche fully, but that is something like a cliche, and it is retarded. Okay, that's super retarded. Why'd she do that? I don't know. She's a retard. Sorry for saying that. I guess she's just stupid, not retarded. I guess. It's bad for retarded people. But yeah, she's stupid. Then there's the cliche where she turns and he refuses to get rid of her because he's like, I'm gonna save your life. I'm gonna give you those extra time. And she's like, no, you should just leave me. And he's like, no, I shouldn't. So he brings her with her, and obviously she turns and she bites him. And it's because of his own stupidity that she bit him too. It's not because of her biting him, like reaching over and biting him. She was impaled at this point, as you can see in this picture. She's impaled by this tree, so she can't really move. And he can just get out and go get the baby, but instead he goes around in the front of the car to check on the baby, and she bites him because he gets so close to her because he's an idiot. So they're both idiots. Uh, that's something to say. They're both idiots. And then they meet a crazy guy who has a quote unquote wife, basically a girl he saved and now is raping, I assume. excuse me, because she doesn't look like she likes being there. So basically, he's raping her. That's kind of uncomfortable, but that's part of it. So yeah, he's with this guy for a little bit, and he's just like, "I'll watch over your child. My wife and me will." And it's just like, she's not your wife. Man, I got something stuck in my throat. Yeah. So yeah, he says something like that, and it turns out to be a bad guy because he captures this other girl and he uses her as bait to get the zombies towards him because he wants to steal all their stuff. Because he thinks once the economy gets back together, he can just have all that stuff. Like he can just like sell that stuff and make money off of it. And this is the girl, by the way. A little bit fuzzy. I don't know why. But yeah, he didn't kidnap her, but he saved her life from the zombies, and basically now he's just fucking her or just raping her, I guess. And then she tries to escape with this guy, and she's like, "Let's escape because this guy's an asshole." And he's like, "Okay, let's go." But the guy catches him and hits him, and he knows that he's infected. So yeah, that all happens. And then there's these uh, like native people to this land that went back to the old ways to stay away from the sickness and stuff like that. And this little girl, that's where she comes from, and she's a part of it. She's a big part of it. It's really good. She's actually a really good actor. I was surprised that she was that good of an actor. um, but yeah, she's she was one of the ones that was captured, and then she helped him, and they helped each other escape and stuff like that. And she's just like, okay, where are we gonna go now? We gotta go see my, gotta go get the medicine man so we can save my dad. But the whole thing leads to her dad dying. And then they leave to go see this family that they saw in the first place, and the family is all bitten, and they all commit pack suicide. It's really fucked up, but really interesting. And then she's like, okay, I can go home to my mom, and he's like, okay, let's go to your mom, I guess. And then your people will take care of my daughter because their people actually are doing really well. And she's like, yeah, pretty much. So like that whole thing, it's just like, oh, that whole part we didn't really need to go through because you could have just went to your family in the first place. It could basically just solve the whole thing in a few in a few hours, but no, that didn't happen. Um, and then I know I'm telling the whole story, by the way, but then they go to the family. They meet back up with the crazy guy who ended up killing his quote unquote wife, by the way, because he accidentally shot her. So they end up meeting the crazy guy again. Another cliche, you always meet the crazy guy again. This time he kills him, and the crazy guy actually has a change of heart slightly. He gives him back his daughter because he has his daughter. He's just like, "You took mine, now I'm gonna take yours." But then he's just like, "Who cares? Just take the kid and just leave, because he's dying." And he's like, "Okay." And they leave, and before they reach her tribe, I guess you could call it, he dies. He turns into a zombie, and he rigs this thing where he basically carries them to her family as a zombie. And it's really interesting. And it's really sad. It hits you right in the feels. You're like, oh no, it's so sad. But then at the end, she's reunited with her mother and her tribe, and they're able to take this little girl and stuff. And he dies at the end, but he dies pretty much a hero because he saved them. And it's really nice, man. It's a really sad ending and a really nice ending. It's just like, whew, oh my goodness, that ending. Really good show. 7 out of 10. I gotta say, you guys, I recommend watching this. Um, if you haven't, and you listened to this whole thing, I spoiled most of it for you. A little bit cliched, really dumb mistakes made as well, but really good and really sad ending, but really happy ending as well. It's one of those bittersweet endings. It's like, ooh, it hits you in the feels. It hits you in the feels. Especially if you're a parent, it'd probably hit you more in the feels. But yeah, man, it's a really good movie. Anyways, that's the end of this review. I hope you liked it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And as always, my friends, stay sane, Peace. Guys, just telling you, if you click one of these boxes, you will either go to my most recent video or a video that YouTube thinks you will like. And if you click on my face, right here, you will go subscribe to my channel. I guess you won't go anywhere, you'll subscribe. Anyways, that's enough, guys. Peace.